A very good afternoon, a very good morning to everyone present here. Confidence is something you create within yourself by believing in who you are. With this quote, myself, Nida Fatima, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechatronics, honored to welcome you all on behalf of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering for the 10th day of FDP AICT sponsored 2-week online faculty development program on fostering ethics, moral values, and character building in technical education, phase 2 from 10th December to 23rd December, organized by Department of Mechatronics, SVCE, Bengaluru. For today's session, we have an eminent personality, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra, Principal of St. Martin's Engineering College, Hyderabad. I welcome you for the session, sir. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. Vijay R. Gudial, Head Department of Mechatronics, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. For this session, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's my privilege to welcome today's resource person, Dr. P. Santosh Kumar Patra, sir. Sir is holding doctorate degree in computer science and engineering. His areas of interest are artificial intelligence, software engineering, data mining, and warehousing, and wireless network. He has been honored with Governor Award twice, Rashtriya Gaurav Award, Rashtriya Vikas Ratan Award, Dronacharya Award. He is the Young Leader of the Year 2019 IPAE International Award, Dubai. Recently, he has been honored as an advisor to NAC Bengaluru, UGC Paramarsh, National Cyber Safety and Security Standards, Government of India. He has published 28 patents, 16 books, and more than 88 international and national research papers, 16 magazine articles, and 138 newspaper coverage. He has signed around 88 MOUs with different organizations. He has received a huge amount of grants from DST, AICTE, UGC, and GHMC. He has delivered several guest lectures at different parts of the country. He is an active member of ISTE, CSI, IAENG, Canada, to name a few. With this brief introduction of you, sir, we would be delighted to be a part of the session. Sir is going to have a talk on emphasizing moral values and art of teaching ethics using Think, Pair, Share. I would like to hand over the session. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, Ms. Fatima, for the elaborated introduction. So,
Thank you.
respected Chief Patron, Sri Muniappa, and the patron of this program, Dr. Sasidhar, and the chairperson and the principal of this college, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Dr. Suresha, and the HOD of this department, Dr. Vijay Sri, and the other teaching and non-teaching staff member. Last but not the least, all the participants across the country, a very good morning to all of you. So I am Dr. Santosh Kumar Patra, Principal of St. Martin Engineering College. Wholeheartedly, I would like to welcome you all. The scheduled 2 weeks faculty development program, which was sponsored by AICTE and AICTE. I think today is the 11th day. We are addressing to this session and all. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you to be a part of this great event. And basically, we all are teachers, and being a teacher, it is always good to be a student always. So I appreciate all the participants, those who are joining today or those who had already joining for before past 10 days and all. So they have shown lot of interest for their own growth to nurture their skill set, and also to contribute to the society in the form of teaching and learning process. So my appreciation to the department, and also wholeheartedly I would like to congratulate to the department for getting funding from AICTE and hosting this event for the mankind. So before discussing further, I would like to take you to my PPT presentations, and then we will start our sessions. So my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. So lot of sessions and a lot of speakers you would have come across, and you all are teaching fraternity. So that is why you will have your own experience about the teaching learning process, emphasizing and inculcating the morals and the way you like. Accordingly, you have followed your teaching ethics and as well as the teaching methods. Now I am here with you all for the continuous 2 hours to discuss about and to nurture and also to sharp some of our assets like our morals, values, and art of teaching ethics using think, pair, and share. So with this, I would like to start the discussion with you all. And as you know, earlier we used to tell always, okay, please turn off your cell phone before starting of any meeting or any conferences and seminars and all. So now it is very hard to tell like this. And I will say it in other way that it is impossible to tell like this, because if we switch off our phone, we will not able to attend the sessions. So this is what the transformation has happened with our traditional way of doing the things, traditional way of viewing the things, and traditional way of practicing the things. So we have entered into a different era where all the changes and all the environmental issues need to be accepted and adopted immediately. There is no transition period and there is no time for the migration too. So that is why being a teacher, it is more essential for all of us to adopt what is required, grab it at the earliest, and start nurturing and helping our own student for their betterment. So before starting this, I would like to quote two of the quote what I have received from Sri Swami Vivekanand and as well as from Albert Einstein. So Swami Vivekanand always emphasized on character building with value education, and what he had told, the character of a man is the sum total of a bend of his mind, and we are what our thoughts made us. And according to Swamiji, value education is essentially a matter of educating the feeling and emotions. It is the training of the heart and consists in developing the right feelings and emotions. Similarly, one line quote, I got it from Albert Einstein too. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of values. So the values and the ethics are more important than the success. Now, if values and ethics, what is the title of my today's topic, if it is required, then how it can be inculcated, and who are all major stakeholder who plays a great role for inculcating in our atmosphere. So primarily, there are three pillars who plays a great role in it. One is what? The student themselves and their thoughts. Another great players are the teachers, and third one is the parents. So it works in a triangular way. So these three pillars, what I feel, plays a great role for inculcating the values and ethics. So now primarily we will understand what is value and why it is required, and what are all parameters and what are all procedures to inculcate good values, and also who are all parameters are influencing for diluting the values among the stakeholders. So looking into the literature, this value was derived from a Latin word valere, which means something that has worth, utility, and importance. Basically, it was introduced in the year of 1880, and after that, the word value was used as a verb, which means to value as esteem something, and value is in plural, denote moral attributes, beliefs which were personal and subjective. So the values were derived, it is not a new concept, it was there long back, and how it has been derived from our English Latin word, and it is just in a literature to understand how it comes. And normally it has been summarized: value regulate and guide human behavior and action in our day-to-day life. Values are embedded in every word we select and speak, what we wear, ways in which we interact, our perception, interpretations of other reactions, in what we are so, and so on. Values are formed on the basis of interest, choice, needs, desire, and preferences. Okay, see the values which are all every individuals and everyone is having, it is all inculcated and it is all inherited by themselves. The way we think, the way we talk, the way we do our activities, the way we visualize a problem, so the way we anticipate the things, it shows the values what we are having inside. So these are all the classification of values. So there are basically values are categorized into two parts, like given a name like value 1 and value 2. So there are various kind of classification which exist for the values 1, which are all, what are all classification which speaks about the ethical, organic, receptional, economic, personal, political, intellectual, and spiritual. And related to the values 2, it speaks about intrinsic, instrumental, permanent, temporary, religious, social, and higher. So these are all, and each values and each categories and each classification segment speaks about different characters. For an example, ethical, it speaks about moral goods in nature, and organic, it speaks about food, clothing, and health. As in my previous slide, I had already spoken, okay, the way we eat, the way we dress up, the way we speak, and the way we anticipate, all are coming based on this type of classification of values, what is there inside us. Similarly, talking about the values 2, okay, so which talks about in what intents we wanted to learn the things. So sometimes what happens, we learn something, let's say somebody, we have gone to a new place, and we were in search of one particular address, and we will ask to somebody that, no, where is this address, where is this house number, where is this block number, where is this road number, and how I need to reach to that destiny. Okay, so on the way many people will be there who will be guiding us, who will be telling us. Then once we reached there, we have finished our work, and after a year or two, what was the necessity for us to remember all these roads and the navigation what we followed to reach to that destination? So those kind of information always we gives a temporary values, where things are all stores temporarily in our mind, and it goes off during the after a certain time period. But if we are connected emotionally, and if some values which we need to inculcate among us, then that stays permanently. So that is why we need to see that what kind of priority we are assigning to our classification of the values, and how we are pursuing the things among ourselves, so that we can have a better, good, and healthy life of optimism. Then looking into the Indian philosophies, so as it is all, we were all aware, like dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So ethics, wealth, pleasure, and salvation. So these are all also plays a great role for classification of values according to our Indian philosophy, which speaks about same what level of instrumental and absolute and higher values. Then these are all different natures of values what we are in day to day, we are all a part of it. It could be your interest theory, existence, experimental, and part whole theory. Okay, so if it is coming as a part of interest, then it is a realistic, or if it is a existence, then it will be idealistic, and if it is experimental, it is pragmatic, and if it is part whole theory, then it holds to enjoy and realize value, one must effectively relate parts of to the whole. So these are all nature of values what we are experiencing every day. So the basic moral values for children to lead a great life has been classified into, see, I have noticed many parents, they tell to their own children that please respect to elders. So my question to everybody is, only the respect will be given to the elders or to the fellow friends or to juniors also? So respect is a asset which should be given to everybody. In return, it will come to us. So that is why we should not end our statement when we were nurturing our children by telling that please give respect only to the elders. It is, I will say that it is an incomplete instruction. So in return, we can say it as, okay, please give respect to every individuals. Then so family plays an integral part of kids' lives. So what are all atmosphere they were grooming and they were growing, how their parents' behavior, what the parents speaks, what the parents practice, and what the parents think and anticipate the things. So accordingly, the kid also learn every day. There are two types of learning happens. One is what the direct learning, another one is indirect learning. In direct learning, we have to give instruction to the children to learn, but indirect learning, what they do, they observe us, they notice us, and what we do, what our practices, that will become a values and that will become a practice for them too. So adjusting and compromising, that also need to be taught to every individuals, that no, in every atmosphere we should know how to adjust ourselves, and also we need should not be greedy. We should also understand the values of compromising and be happy what we are having for. Okay, and helping mentality is always encouraged and appreciated to inculcate great values. So helping mentality is always, we should have a thought and a process in mind that we need to help somebody, whatever it is all possible in our hand. Then giving respect to all religion, and always looking for the justice, and should have honesty, and the most importantly, never hurt anyone. How maximum it is possible, that has to be followed. And as you know, everyone, okay, honesty speaks about being truthful and sincere, and integrity speaks about sticking to your moral and ethical principles and values. So here I would like all of you to think about one word that is named as think, T-H-I-N-K. And so here we need to analyze before telling and before doing anything to anybody. It could be our own friends, it could be our own relatives, or it could be our known people. So whatever we were speaking, is it true? Whatever we were doing, is it helpful? And whatever we were talking and doing, is it all inspiring? And is it all necessary? Or is it kind? These are all questions. If every individual asks to themselves, then definitely, undoubtedly, I think before we speak, before we do any activity, or before we carry out any of the task, definitely it will have a control in our mind, and we will able to inculcate some good values and ethics in our mind itself before commencing any work. So now I'm in this situation, I am able to remember one of the book what I had studied, and it was a very interesting story which I think I should share it in this moment with all of you. One day what happened, one small kid was there, And slowly, when the small kid was growing, okay, so as you know, everybody might be experiencing, small kids will be very greedy and they will be lot of demanding and they don't understand anything. So all the time, the parents of that kid, they used to guide that kid that, oh, don't do this, don't do that, okay, it is good for you, it is bad for you. In that way it was going on. And those days the parents were thinking that we are good, but we are okay, but our children is not okay, so we have to nurture them, we have to correct them. So every point of the life there will be a checkpoint from the parents to the child. That is one scenario. When the kid was slowly growing and reaching to the adult stage, okay, then whatever the parent says, the kid starts objecting. No, this is not good. I want this. I want to go for a movie. I want to have a bike with me. I want to go for the weekends. I want to go for holidays. I want food from restaurants. All this. And for everything, there will be objection from the parents. That time, the child who has grown up today, he feels that he is okay, but parents are not okay, and he tries to find out all the mistakes from the parent side, and he feels that no, he is correct and whatever he says, that is absolutely correct and that should be fulfilled. Finally, when the parents, they reach to a old age, and also the young boy who comes to a level of maturity, then he feels when he was a kid, whatever the nurturing parents were doing, they were good. And when the and at kid stage, he was good enough because he was innocent, he doesn't know anything, so he was demanding. Then when he had come to the adult stage, he felt that whatever he demanded, that should have been given. But now he is realizing whatever the parents have objected and restricted him, that was good for him. And finally, at this maturity level, he says on one word that I am okay, you are okay, and we are okay. So this is what the values of life, and this is what the stage of the life where something which we need to learn today, and something we will be learning tomorrow, and something we will be learning day after tomorrow, because life is a learning opportunity and every day we need to learn. Similarly, looking into the values and ethics, okay, so this is also, it's not like a subject which can be shown in the form of a PPT or which can be discussed. It has to be learned, nurture and inculcated in every phase of life. We have to bring it in the form of a practice. So practice will become our habit and habit will become our culture. So once it, until unless it is not inculcated in the form of a culture, and this culture will drive us to define our character. Once we reached in the form of our practices into character, nobody can stop us. Every time the harmony, peace, integrity, values, honesty, everything will come. So there are six core ethical values are there, which speaks about the values like trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, and caring. And last one is the citizenship. So these are all things, these are all six core ethical values which we need to inculcate among our children, among us, and also among the society where we live. So this is what the story I was narrating to you. Okay, so it was represented in a another style of interesting way, like when the small kid was born and he never understand that what is the nature of human relationship, and once he is little bit grown up and he reached to a stage that is named as a pre-conventional stage, where he is so greedy and he will be selfish, and normally they respond to the powers and also the morality as a matter of no, they think about everything can be done with the powers and with the greediness. And once they were all no little bit growing up and they were reaching to the adulthood, then they will understand and they will enter into a conventional moral understanding, where they start understanding what is the value of human relationship. And if this time we could able to inculcate all the values, then definitely it will be adding lot of advantages for every human. So till today we understood about the values and we understood about the ethics what we need to inculcate, and we also believed that everybody, we expect that everybody should have good values, good morals, good ethics and all this. But I have noticed it is by giving all due respect to all the teachers, it is not to any individuals. I have noticed because all the teachers, whenever they come to their workplace, especially the higher educational institute teachers and all, and they will have their own kids which are all studying in different schools. Okay, now that same teacher is playing a two role in his or in her life. One is what, he or she is a teacher for others, and he and she is a like mother or father to one kid, and for his own kid there are another set of teachers. So now you see the level of expectation how it varies. Okay, now looking into the professional job, when he is a teacher he has to come, he is expected to deliver his talk and he is expected to teach properly. If there, I have seen some of the people, there will be a dilution in the work. Okay, they will not be that much of effective on teaching and they will not be showing that much of involvement to their works. But however, in return, when those teachers, they go to their children's school and they interact with that school teachers, they will have all high expectation from that school teacher. So now my question to all of them, okay, how it is justified when you have not done justice, how you expect that no entire justice will be done to you? So as again I am quoting, by giving all due respect to teachers, I have quoted this example just to understand the society works in give and take policy. So if we have done justice, definitely justice will come to us. If we have inculcated moral values and ethics among others, then undoubtedly the society also in return in other way will inculcate all the moral values and ethics for our own benefits. But still, however, it is a ongoing process and still there are many parameters and regions which degrades and dilutes the value of higher education in a different way. So some of the highlights what I have taken about the lack of conductive ambience, lack of professional ethics in teachers and administrators, and lack of extracurricular activity pertaining to inculcation of values, overemphasis of cognitive domain in the curriculum, lack of accountability of teachers, and if the politicians started involving in the education system and lost for making money, and conditional relationship between preceptors and pupils, negligence of effective domain in curriculum, malpractices in examination. Now it is a big debate because online exams are going on, and addiction of teachers to all the bad habits, and lack of dedication towards teaching profession, and poor pedagogy, and a lack of mutual respect among fellow teachers and colleagues, and the attitude of administrations, and voting of ethics. So I felt these are all major parameters or the reasons for degradation of our erosion of values in higher educations. Nowadays, what is happening? There is a lot of difference in the school education system and a higher education system. Whenever the children were going to school regularly, even we all were part of it, the day was there when we used to go to school and all, and the first thing what we used to do in the school, the moment we will reach in our school, first thing we have to go for a assembly without fail, without any excuses, and we have to stand there and we have to do the prayers and worship to our God, take the blessings of teachers, elders and God. And in addition to that, one leader will be there, or every individual will be given an opportunity to go to the stage soon after completion of the assembly to talk about any great personality. It could be Mahatma Gandhi, it could be Jawaharlal Nehru, or it could be about Abdul Kalam. So this level of success stories and the great personality who had changed and whose presence have influenced the people's mind. So those people's about their success story and the sacrifices, if we listen regularly, then definitely there will be impact. And everyday prayers, it takes you to a devotional mood, so that always you will be God fearing person, and also we will have a smooth and steady mind. And soon the school education systems are over. We are all entering into the higher education. All these things are taken away. I do not know why it is all okay. And it is all taken away, and directly we will be exposed to the curriculum. And the curriculum is so aggressive that all this part which inculcate good values, morals, all these things are taken away, and immediately we look for industry requirement. We have board of studies and all. Okay, we look for industry requirement. What is required for industry? Let's start inculcating those knowledges among the student. Extracurricular activity, all these things now are given very less importance, except looking into their academics. So if we do all these things continuously with the children, automatically what was the good habit cultivated in their mind till their 10th standard or 12th standard, that goes out gradually. And these are all strong reason I feel, okay, degradations of values in higher education system. And there are some recommendations. It's not like that as it is diluted we cannot correct it. Okay, so there are some recommendation of framing of various committees and the activities, which definitely it will inculcate the values and to present it in nutshell. So we can go for as I was telling, we can go for morning assembly and silent meditation for a few times, and we can have a morning itself some storytelling sessions by great saints or politicians, the personalities or spiritual leaders, and the study of books highlighting the biographies of great personalities. And we can use projector and highlight some of the influential personality, so that it goes into the student mind, and they will think that no, okay, so they could be a great personality like this. So tomorrow somewhere in some places about them also, some schools they may be teaching. So these are all recommendation. In addition to that, there are other parameters also what I feel it has to be recommended strongly, like how the how the teacher should be to inculcate good values. The teacher should focus on education about religions and not religious educations. The teacher taught to employ strategies to acquaint the students with the moral values and principles contained in the holy text of different religions. The aim, strategy, and techniques and tactics employed may differ at different levels. Like as I was telling to you, in our traditional days, there was a blackboard teaching, and slowly we went for an OHP projector, and now we are all using high definition LCD projectors. And soon after this lockdown, March, which was imposed in March 2020, as you all might be aware, all the traditional way of teaching has gone. And now we were using only the ICT tools to go for teaching learning process. And in the ICT tools, as you know, we are using animated videos, PowerPoint presentations, and multimedias, live streaming, YouTube videos, all these things. So what I mean to say here is, okay, we need to have a strategy and techniques to use all these things in our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day teaching learning process too. We should not restrict to a one model where, if let's say if any teacher goes and believes only with the blackboard teaching with a physical mode of interaction, then there will not be any existence of those kind of people if they have those kind of thoughts in their mind in this digital era. So that is why we need to expose to all flavors and be ready for all this good which we are yet to expect from the society. So, and another important aspect, as I was mentioning in my previous slides too, in co-curricular programs, different activities such as singing, poem, then drama, debate, and competitions, essay writings, and all these things need to be inculcated in the curriculum itself in the form of a co-curricular activities. And strongly I feel if we will arrange some kind of trip or a visit to the orphanage or old age homes, then definitely that represents the true picture of the situation, where everybody will understand, okay, how all this empathy, how these values, and how this ethics, all these things are required for every individuals. And in the school, colleges, and wherever we stay there, we can display the thoughts and quotes of great personality on moral values, like in classrooms, laboratories, libraries, staff room, and wherever it is all possible. And the teachers, especially the teacher educators, should organize orientation program and workshops based on value education at intra-institutional or inter-institutional level, to see to it that all the students are actively participating and understanding the concepts. Now, as we are summarizing the values and ethical morals, so here if I talk about morals, it is indicating a individual. It is moral means it is me. If I am talking about ethics, then it is me and another person to whom we are interacting. So always we have to understand, if we have good morals, then good ethics as an outcome it will come. So looking into the difference between morals and ethical values, so we have to understand that morals are purely connected emotionally, where the individual has to undergo with its virtues, deeds, and personal thoughts. Okay, how about the ethical values are talking about practicability, where the societies will be giving us a lot of ethical values related to the rules, norms, guidelines, regulations, and finally the law. Okay, so that is why we need to have moral values which will inculcate a good ethical values too. And what I should select? Okay, if we will have a question in mind, it's not like selecting something is good or something is bad. We need to have good morals which will represent with good ethical practice. So that is why one is emotional aspect, another one is practical aspect. So looking into this slide, I could able to remember one more story, because all of you are all faculty community, and even how we are grown up and all. So by default, we all are student, and every day is a learning opportunity. So I thought I will share a story with you, so that you will feel also more comfortable, and the things also will be very easy to understand the way it is all required. So one day what happened, in one house, father, mother, and one son was there, and son was aged around 10 years. So one day, due to some medical emergency, the mother has to go to her parents' house for 1 week of time. So the mother has gone, and now who are all left out in the home? The father and the 10 years old boy. So father and son both are staying together, and very next day, the son asked to his father, "Father, why don't you cook today for me my favorite food?" Then the father told, "Okay, anyway, I have taken off from the office, so let me do something for my own son so that he will be happy." So the father was thinking, what was the favorite food of his son? Then he could able to realize that one, no, the egg noodles. Egg noodles his son likes a lot, but the way of preparing the egg noodles is slightly different. So he wants the noodles with boiled eggs. That is what his son's favorite dish. So the father decided to cook for him, and in addition to that, teach some morals and ethical values. Okay, so now I will come how it is. So father asked the son, "Son, please go take bath, and the moment you finish your bath and coming to the dining table, your favorite dish will be ready on the table itself." Then the son has gone to the bathroom to take the bath, and however father has gone inside the kitchen and start preparing. And the moment the food was kept on the dining table, son came, father also came, and the moment the son was peeping into the table, there are two plates kept. One was one was full with noodles where no egg is seen. No egg is seen on the, and another plate were full of noodles, and one boiled egg was placed on top of the noodles. Am I clear? One plate full of noodles, no egg is seen. Another plate full of noodles where on top of the noodles one boiled egg was placed. And the father asked the son, "Son, I have kept the food for you. Which plate you like to choose? You can choose. It is your wish." Then the son, as already I had told that the son is fond of this egg noodles, so immediately he could able to see on the plate that in one plate eggs are not seen, in another plate one egg is seen on top of it. Immediately he selected that plate and happily started eating. Then whatever the plate left out, that is for the father. Okay, while eating, the son noticed that that was the only egg available on that plate. On top of the noodles, what was the egg placed? And while looking to his father's plate, he could able to see, the son could able to see, there are two eggs inside the noodles, and these two eggs were kept in hidden form, which cannot be seen from outside. It was covered with the noodles. Then the son was a bit disappointed and told to father, "Dad, what is this? And you are eating two eggs, and for me, as you know that it is my favorite one, and for me you have given me only one egg." Then the father told, "My son, the choice was yours. You have selected that plate. So the moral for you is, should not believe what you see immediately. You have to apply your minds." Okay. So today that one day is over. Then very next day, so again the son requested, "Okay, Daddy, why don't you again prepare noodles for me?" Okay, Daddy said that, "Yes, okay, if you like, again today also we will make it." Okay, so story repeats again. So same again, two plates were kept. Now in one plate, on top of it, the decoration remains same. Okay, on top of it, one egg is there, and another plate, on top of it no eggs are seen, it is full of noodles. Now the father asked, "Okay, so son, which one you wanted to take?" Then as his previous experience, he has noticed his father's practice is what? On top of the noodles he will keep one egg, and inside the father used to hide two eggs. So immediately the son told that, "Daddy, I want to choose the second plate where the eggs are not seen." Then the father told that, "Okay, please go ahead and enjoy your food." And while eating, the son noticed that there were no eggs inside. It is completely noodles only. And what was the another plate what the father was eating? On top of it, one egg was there, boiled egg was there. That was the only egg, and his father is enjoying the food. Again, son was disappointed and asked the father, "What is this, Daddy?" Then again the father told, "The choice was yours. So that is why remember one more morals and values today to you, that always past experiences will not work out. You need to think innovatively and considerably." That is the lesson for you today. Then son was a little disappointed, but what to do? It was his choice, so he was silent. Very next day, again son requested, and the story continued like this. Okay, so on top of it, one egg is seen, and another plate, nothing is there. Then the father asked to the son, "Okay, so choice is yours. You take it." Then the son replied, smiled and replied, "Daddy, after all, you are elder to me. I give respect to you. So I request you, first you select your plate, and whatever left out, that is for me." Then the father told, "Where one egg is seen on the table, you please take that one only. Behind that, another two eggs are there, and which are all now not seen with any eggs, that is kept, that you leave it for me." Then that boy asked to the father, "Okay, father, where I gave you the option of choosing, okay, so why you have given me where lot of eggs are there?" Then the final moral to his son is what? The father told, "As you started considering and giving respect to your elder, So that is why it is our duty to do good for you. So that is why first you offered me and you recognized me that I should be offered first because I am your father. You started inculcating the relationship values in you. So that is why you deserve the best. So I gave you where, because I have prepared, I know where a lot of eggs are there. So to justify your needs, so I have given you, I have offered you that plate and I have taken this one for you. So why I am telling this story to you all? So every aspect of the life, it is not only in the schools or in the colleges only the values will be taught. Every aspect of life we have to play a great role for our own children and for our own student, for our friends, for our relatives, to inculcate good values so that they will come out with a good human being. So again the story continues like this. So I could able to remember what was written in Bhagavad Gita and also in Holy Bibles. So Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita speaks about the divine and the demonic. So in divine, he was telling divine side invokes cultivation of values where one can imbibe qualities, characters of an angel or a soothsayer or a Samaritan. How about looking into the demonic side focuses only on material things to the total neglect of moral values and spirituality. So the choice is ours. What kind of values we are inculcating? And the Holy Bible also says very beautifully the same thing in a one line. Like without values, a nation perishes. Without values, the nation perishes. So this is the level, like all religions you look into it. If we can go for like Islamic, we can go for Buddhism and all religions speaks about the importance of values and ethics in everybody's mind. Now I had spoken about the values and ethics. Now being a teacher, we need to understand also in my teaching practices, because we are the teachers and we go to the class and we teach. So how my art of teaching should be there, where I can inculcate the values, ethics, and also I can add think and pair and share. Nowadays, as you know, the concept of you need to pair these subjects so that no, it can be memorized very easily. So what is the role of teacher here? So for having a art of teaching ethics, it is necessary to underline the role of a teacher in the context of the needs of value oriented education. If education has to be value oriented, the teachers too has to be value oriented. So normally in computer science we say, okay, so based on input the output will come. Okay, garbage input, garbage output. Okay, first the teacher has to be inculcated with the value oriented education, then only he can teach or he can inculcate those values among the children. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about four things. One is what the traditional teaching methods, what we used to do all the day. Then basic teaching models we will be discussing, and why it has to be planned properly, because the need of planning is very very important and it plays a great role for any kind of success. Then what should be guideline to be followed to make our presentation an effective lessons, so that no, the students will enjoy our lessons. So being a teacher, what was our role? So the teacher should be a role model for the student and make all possible endeavors to achieve moral and spiritual development of student. The teacher should act in such a manner that the entire atmosphere is surcharged with love, affection, trust, and mutual care. Now, I wanted to request all the participants who are all attending my session today, okay, just for 1 minute close your eyes, okay, and please recall, because you all would have finished your school days up to 10th standard, then you would have gone for PUC or intermediate or plus 2, then you would have gone for your higher education like graduation, post graduation, and some of you might be at the doctorate with a lot of years of teaching experience and all. Okay, but whatever the phase of life, definitely you would have come with come across with many different types of teachers. They might be the school teachers, they might be college teachers, or they might be your higher education teachers, or they might be your guide or the friends during your research PhD time too. Okay, now I request all the participants, just close your eyes for 1 minute and think who are all teachers' name you could able to recall. The teacher might be from your school, from your college, or from your higher education. Okay, so just think their names in their mind, in your mind. Again, after a minute, I will come back to you why I asked this question and what is the significance on it. Okay, the time starts now for 1 minute. Right. So I am 100% sure that you would have listed out the name of teachers. Okay, and the list might be varying from 1 to 6. Very few people in my past days workshops I have experienced those who have written more than 6 teachers or 7 teachers name. Hardly the number varies from 1 to 6. Some people will remember 2 teachers, 3 teachers, 4 teachers, maximum 5, or at the max 6. Okay, so same thing would have happened because it's not like physical interaction session. I could able to meet and see you. Okay, so now my question to all of you: if somebody has written more than 6, I really appreciate. So now my question to all of you that in our school days, okay, so if we will go for a rough calculation, okay, so during each standard we come across at least 5 to 6 teachers. So up to 10th standard, more than 50-60 teachers. Then look, coming to the again intermediate, we would have come across another 20 teachers. Then coming to higher education, another 50 teachers, like that. So around 200 to 300 teachers, and some people they goes to tuitions and all tuition centers, coaching centers, again some set of teachers they come across. From a big number, why we were able to only remember 6 to or 5 to 6 names? Because those teachers, with their activities, with their teaching learning process, and with their mannerism, they have created a place in your mind and heart so that you could able to remember those face only. So same thing we need to ask to ourselves when as a teacher we go to the class. Before starting our class, if in future, how I have asked to all of you today, in future if somebody will be asking to your student, so are they going to remember your name? Are they going to remember your face? That we need to ask to ourselves. If we ask this question to ourselves, the entire thought towards our profession, the entire thought towards our work, the entire philosophy towards our working atmosphere will change. And how effectively we will start teaching, it's not like that we will be remembered for that. Okay, we understand the values, because how you have remembered some of the teachers today, because they have made a significant change in your mind and heart, and you felt that their contribution added values to your life. That is why you are able to remember, and others just they have come and they have gone. So that is why the teachers' roles are very, very critical, okay, to employ such teaching learning strategy as may be conductive for creating as well as sustaining interest of students in studies. And the teacher should be creative and should strive for creativity in students. I have seen it is always easy for or any teacher to go and directly teach from the subjects. But however, we can do lot of activities by bringing some creativity inside the classroom so that the student they learn by doing the things and which will be memorized in their mind forever. and and who has to do that? The subject teacher only has to play the role of doing the activities, bringing creativity into it, and also see to it it is in line with the subjects. And the teacher should evaluate the students continuously, not only in academic aspect but in behavioral aspects too. And the teachers can also resort to telling students about the novel thoughts and quotes given by various educationalists, scientists, social reforms, and activities every day before the class or lecture to start. And the teacher taught to be a role model and not to a fashion model for the student. So nowadays that is what it is more seen. And what is all the deficiencies are there in our traditional education system? See, as we are dealing with the higher educational institutions and all, I could able to see there was no parameters or no emphasis was given on soft skill, which are all badly needed, and especially the communication skill, interpersonal skill, analytical skill, and more importantly who speaks about the values and attributes and all, that is our working attitude. So those activities, those skills are not at all there in the curriculum. So that is why NBA, NAC, AICT, UGC, everybody, they thought, and there was a big debate on all this, and they decided to introduce a concept which is very known to all of you, that OBE, outcome based education. So what here we speaks about the teaching that focuses on what students can actually do after they were taught. Okay, so before we enter into this outcome based education in the teaching learning process, we need to see to it that we are fulfilling all these four questions. If all these four questions can be answered, then we are justifying to the outcome based education. And this outcome, it's not related to the placement only. This outcome is inculcate the values and ethics too. What are all things? What do you want the students to learn? Why do you want them to learn it? How can you best help students to learn it? How will you know what they have learned? So there are two aspects. One is what? The mode of teaching, with a expectation that they are going to get whatever it is all planned. And another way is what? How we are planning about the assessment, because without assessment there is no point of doing the teaching learning process. So these are all questions we need to answer. So once it is all answered, then we will understand that we are learning to a outcome based education, which is not only speaks about the teaching learning of education system, it also speaks about the values, moral ethics, more importantly the working attitude of every individuals. And as you know, okay, so once we are coming to teaching learning where with value additions, NAC gives the highest weightage with 350 marks, and NVA gives the highest weightage of 120 marks. See, from a NAC assessment point of view, 35% of weightage goes to the teaching learning process itself. And now looking into, I had told the art of teaching. I had given the title like art of teaching. So before discussing about the art of teaching, first we need to understand what is teaching. So what is teaching? So the answer could be, teaching is a art. Is it really art? Art of teaching we had coined like this. Is it a art, or is it a craft, or is it a engineering approach? Let us understand this with a very nice story. Okay, so I have presented one person's photo. Okay, so it is with suit and all. Okay, so hope you will able to recognize him. Who is he? So try to recognize. If you know, okay, good, that no, you are able to identify him. Okay, if you don't know, at least please remember yourself. Okay, whether you have seen him somewhere. Okay, so just know, to answer to the question I wanted to tell to you, he is he is Mr. Ray Kroc, and who was the owner of McDonald restaurant. McDonald, we go for the restaurant, the outlets in Bangalore, in Tamil Nadu, in Hyderabad. There are a lot of franchises of McDonald, and there are many lovers who goes regularly to the McDonald. He was the founder and the owner of this McDonald restaurant. Okay, now there is a very good lesson about the teaching. We have to learn from this business and what he had done. So in the year of 1954, when Ray Kroc decided to start his hotel business and gave a name as McDonald, and he started preparing food, and he could able to see there were many followers, and there are many customers who loved his food and started visiting to the restaurant regularly, and his business was booming, and it was booming, and it was growing like a very good way, the way it was, it was not anticipated also. Those days some other competitors were also there. By seeing him, they also started beside him different restaurant, and they started the selling the same stuff what he was selling, but those business were not doing well, only his business were picking up. Okay, because the art of preparing the recipe was known to Mr. Ray Kroc. He was knowing, and only he can do that one. He knows what is the proportionate of ingredients need to be used, up to what time it has to be baked, all these no ingredients and the procedure for making a very good food items. So it was known to him. So till that time it was named as art of making. So art of making the burgers and pizzas, it was known to Ray Kroc. So then what, one day he decided, as my business is growing and I am not able to fulfill the requirement of the people, so let me take the help of my own sister. So he was blessed with two sisters. So he invited one of his sister. Her name was Lorraine. So, hey Lorraine, please come here. Okay, so Lorraine came, and see, I have a very good artistic way of preparing the food item, and I have put a restaurant, and you are seeing that I am making good money and business. Okay, so if you are interested, I have a deal for you. Then the Lorraine asked, okay, brother, tell me what is the deal. Do one thing, let us open a restaurant at your native place where you are settled down. Okay, I will tell you the art of making. I will tell you the parameters and the quality attributes what need to be followed. So that secret I will reveal it to you within a written documents, that you are not going to share it with anybody else. You will face the legal complications. Okay, only one condition, whatever the business you will make it, you have to give me the share. You have to give me the revenue for it, royalty income. Then the Lawrence said that yes, it is a good deal because McDonald name is there and the recipe of the brother is very famous. If that same recipe I could able to produce and sell, definitely I will have a good business. So sister agreed immediately and agreed for the deal too. Now initially it was a art. It was known only to Ray Kroc. Now it is known to his sister also. And once the sister business picked up very nicely, then Ray Kroc decided to invite some other relatives, friends, and do the same thing what he has done with Lorraine. So parallelly, we could able to see within 1 year of time span, more than 50 outlets have been opened, and all this secret recipe was shared with all these people. So surprisingly, any outlet we will visit, we will get the same taste. So this art is now become a craft. Earlier it was known to one person, now it is known to set of people, and same way they could able to prepare. Now, in case any of us is interested to open an outlet of McDonald, even though we are not friends, we are not relatives of Ray Kroc, okay, even though we wanted to open, there is a procedure, there is a approach. We can get the outlets, and this procedure of preparing the recipe is well documented that whoever reads, they will able to produce the same taste of the food like that. So now this is called engineering principle, because the which was earlier art converted into the form of craft, and this craft is now redefined in the form of an engineering principle. So if we go through that process, then anybody can prepare those kind of burgers and those kind of pizzas. So now, coming back to the teaching, so teaching in our ancient days, we have remembered about many teachers and great teachers, like as you might be knowing also that in our ancient days also we have read about Guru Dronacharya, we have read about how great Guru he was. So all these different types of gurus we have read about it, and till those days it was like an art and craft. Now the teaching is an engineering principle. So whoever wants to become a teacher, there are certain ethics, there are some guidelines, there are some practices. If we undergo with that, anybody could be a great teacher, good teacher. So that is why, so we can't say that teaching is an art. In return, we will say it as a teaching is an engineering principle, where if we will follow those principles, undoubtedly every individual, if they have a passion to become a teacher, they will become a good teacher. So there are some key attributes are required to become a good teachers, like the faculty get up, then the dress up, presentation and board management, then level of energy, smile on face, and stress and life and task management. Looking into the attributes, like it is very important for the teacher, because he is presented in front of the set of student. So how he get up and how he dress up, it plays a great role. See, the teacher will be wearing a shirt which has got some spot on the any part of his shirt, and he speaks about the cleanliness, he speaks about moral values, he speaks about ethics. Even though he will be speaking about good subjects also, the students will be distracted and they will be looking into that part and making fun among themselves. So that is why, even though it is a very small aspect, we need to see to it that now all these key attributes are taken care properly, so that being a teacher, being a role model, we will be able to present ourselves in a good way. And another things also which we need to know, okay, so how we manage and how we use our board. So whiteboards will be there, blackboards will be there. So sometimes I have noticed some of the very good teachers will be there. So only they turn towards the board and they start telling something and they start continuously writing. So this is not the right way of managing the boards. So we have to know what should be while drawing while drawing the diagram on the board, how our orientation should be, and how much time we should turn ourselves towards the board, and in between how many times we have to turn around about the student and see to it that what is happening, are they following or not. And another more important thing is about the level of energy. So the level of energy inside the classroom should never go down, and it should be very much energetic and enthusiastic, so students should get the interest. And always there should be, as already it is not only inside the classroom or outside the classroom, smiles should be there on the face, so that whoever sees us, they will be relaxed by seeing this. And everybody should have a practice of learning about the stress, life and task management. Everybody has got family, everybody has got personal problem, and everybody has got a lot of tasks, whether at the faculty level, you have a lot of tasks: NBA file, NAC file, autonomous file, the AICTE file, then this one the mentorship you need to do, talk to the parents, absentees report, slow learner report, what not. Okay, if you list out more than 30-40 activities the teacher has to do regularly. Then looking into the HODs, they are also bombarded with a lot of works, and a principal role, no, that is a very big list. Okay, so these are all different tasks will be there with respect to our positions and with respect to the job profile we are holding. And family, every family will have lot of problems also, and stress, undoubtedly everybody will have different types of stress. Now all these things, it is common for every individuals, every human beings. Here my request and submission to all of you, that all these things, let us not mingle, let us not bring all these things inside the classroom when we were talking to our students. And in the first slide also I was telling, okay, the morals, the values, the ethics, and the teaching learning process, it is only possible by using a triangle rule. And I have given a name like, golden triangle rule, because here the teacher is one pillar, and student is another pillar, and another strong pillar will be our parents. So the students' parents also should be equally involved, then only the effective mentoring is possible. And we need to be regularly in touch with not only with the student, also with the parents. And there are many open source tools are available, and there are many free applications are available which we can download from the Play Store, and we can start using. Like normally I used to interact with my students and parents, all are freeware also. Okay, Arcway and Edify, Moodles, and nowadays everybody is using WhatsApp. So these are always, without investing any money, very easily we can interact regularly with the students as well as with the parents. What is the role of parents for inculcation of moral values? So previously I had told one story to you where how the father was trying to inculcate moral values, respect, and best ethics on his son in the form of serving the food. Egg noodles he was serving, and different way he was trying to nurture his own child. Similarly, every parent has to play a great role to inculcate good moral values among the children. And what should be, there are some points which it came to thought, so it is all written here. So the parent ought to be ideal role models for their children, and they must not resort to double standards. So mismatch between preaching and doing. So for an example, okay, so we all would have come across of all this situation, and whenever we remember those days and all, just a smile comes in our face. Sometimes we have seen, let's say I could able to remember one of my uncle was there, and always he will be busy in doing some writing some articles, songs, all these things. Okay, so we are able to see that he is busy and he was doing that. And in particular that time, if anybody calls him, like his friends or any relatives or anybody who has come out from outside and asking for his presence, so we were seeing that he is busy by doing so. Okay, but immediately when he will be called, that uncle used to call us and used to tell that I am not available at home. Okay, so that is what it creates a great difference between doing and preaching. Okay, so we could able to see that he is writing something, but he is insisting us to go and tell something which is, it's a big lie. Okay, so this kind of mismatch should not happen. Okay, and mother being the first teacher, as it was known to every individual of so first teacher of the child, how to discharge her duty meticulously, both through her words and her actions too. Okay, and mother will be telling to the child nowadays, okay, like don't go out without wearing the mask, where the mother herself will be going. So there is a mismatch between preaching and doing. Same thing happens, then the child picks about it and sees that no, okay, mother is doing like this, and however the mother is insisting to the child to do it. So what is, it is impossible. And keep a watchful eye on these activities of their words. Nowadays, as you know very well, in this digital era, technology is reachable to everybody, and lot of chances of distractions are also there. And as every day we are seeing in the TV and reading in the newspaper also, how the small children are getting into all these odd practices and getting into the criminal activities too. Okay, so that is why it is more important how busy we are. We have to keep a eye on our children's, and parents should keep in touch with the school teachers, principals, and see that one know the behavioral pattern of their words. So they may give their constructive feedback to the teachers, as well as welcome a constructive feedback given to them by the teachers. So parents should devote at least some time daily telling the importance of moral values of their words by means of fables, moral story, all this. And the parents should not generally condemn their words. Things may be got done through love and affection, and the parents should duly appreciate and all these good beginnings, and we can show a lot of belongingness to all of our children by giving a nice piece of words only. So these are all, I strongly feel, being a parents, we need to play a great role to inculcate good values and morals among our children. So then coming back to again our basic teaching methods, where we need to look into different behaviors, procedures. As I was telling to you, it should be instructional objectives, and which will enter into the behaviors. And we have to see that the best instructional procedure to be followed, or sometimes all instructional procedures should be followed, and assessments are very much important for any kind of basic teaching models. And here there is a time for you to listen another small story, because in my title of that I had written that a lot of storytelling sessions will be there. Okay, so always I strongly strongly feel, okay, the subject which will be taught with a small storytelling, okay, so it will be remembered forever. You could able to see I have placed a monkey which is holding one banana, and no, which is visible to all of you. Now there is a small story here which we need to listen, and it is quite interesting. So what this monkey had done, one day this monkey was in a forest, and in that forest he could able to see one lot of banana trees are there, and in that banana trees lot of bananas are there. As the monkey is fond of bananas, so monkey could not able to control it himself, then started jumping from one tree to another tree and started plucking the bananas. Then he plucked the bananas and put it back. Then another one plucked and put it back. Another one plucked and put it back. He was so excited, and he was doing continuously. And when he felt that he has collected enough, and then he started jumping from one tree to another tree, another tree to another tree, and he had gone to a place and he was sitting there. And the moment he was sitting, that time he decided to have some banana for him, and he looked at his back and he was looking into the bananas, but he could able to see that not even a single banana is placed on his back. Whatever he had plucked and put it on his back, where those bananas have gone? Because those bananas have fallen down, and only he was left out with one banana, which was at last he was holding on his hand. So in the diagram, in the picture also, you can see that the monkey is holding finally only one banana, even though he would have plucked more than 200 bananas. Now the question comes, is there any situation or is there any opportunity was there he could have collected whatever the number of bananas he had plucked? Is it possible? Yes, the answer is it is possible. Why it is? If he would have taken some measures of collecting and storing behind back, or taking a thread and tiding the bananas once it was plucked, then whatever the bananas he had plucked, it would have not fallen down. In return, it would be with him, and the moment he wanted to use it, he could have used. So same thing happens in our teaching learning model also. What happens? So we will be given a academic calendar, and each subject will is comprised of 5 to 8 units. Then we look into the session plan, lesson plan, and we decide, okay, unit 1 I have to complete with 9 periods, unit 2 I have to complete with 8 periods, unit 3 we have to complete with 10 periods and all. So in this hurriness of completing the syllabus, what we do, okay, so we don't give intense care for retaining the subjects what we taught to the student in their mind. And finally the assessment day comes, and when we ask some question to the student, they will able to answer what was taught to them in the last class, and before that whatever we had taught, everything would have gone. So that is why it is very, very important to have a performance assessment in every phase of teaching. And if it is acceptable by you all, I will request all of you, once you take the class for 50 minutes or 1 hour, I request all of you to reserve last 5 minutes, okay, to have the assessment what you have taught today. And the very next day when you come for your first class, then the first 5 minutes you have to reserve to revise and put some question to see and to check that their understandability and how much they have accepted from your talk and all. So that is why the performance assessment, it is required periodically to have a effective teaching learning model. So to do that, we need, as I was telling, effective planning is required, and without plan nothing can be achieved. So that is why, so if we will plan properly, like how many units are there, how many sessions are there, how many periods are there, and how much time I need to teach the subject, how much time I need to do the assessment, how much time I need to do the revision, all these points which need to be kept into mind at the beginning, and to have a effective planning, so that there will not be any hurdles, there will not be any difficulties when we will be taking our session, and there will not be any disturbance to the outcome what we have analyzed. So that is why it is more important to have a effective planning. So in this planning, many people, they tell to me when I conduct these sessions for different colleges and different universities and all, either in India or other countries too. Okay, so sir, we have effective lesson plan, we have effective session plan, and we have a perfect timetable, and we have solved the last 5 years question paper and all, but still why teachers were not able to do it effectively, and why there is no outcome, and why there are still lot of failures are there, and why still student comes and complains that no, still we were not able to understand all the units. Okay, so here there is one small incident, okay, I would like to narrate you in the form of a small story, where one day what happened, one person was there, he was so greedy, okay, and he came to the king, and he asked, he started no, telling to all the people that this king is not good at all, he is not looking into the requirement of the people, all these things he was talking all ill about it. Then it has reached to the ear of the king, so king invited him one day, and king asked him, okay, so what is that you are looking for? Then that gentleman was telling, king, I was looking for lot of lands, you have lot of lands, what was the problem, you could have given little more to me. Then king told that, okay, so this is what your requirement, right, fine. Come tomorrow morning, I will give you lot of lands. Then tomorrow morning, with all happy face, he went to the king, because the king told that no lands will be given to him. So king asked, in which direction you want to have your land, like east, west, north and south. Then he had selected that no, I wanted to go for north side land I wanted to take, because sentimentally it is all good, people say, so he wanted to go with north side. Okay, right. Then king will tell, yes, Now onwards, you start running towards north side. How much you want the land to be for you, that much of distance you have to cover. So whatever the distance you have covered, that many now that much of land will be yours from tomorrow onwards. But I have one condition here: how much distance you have traveled before the sunset, you have to come back and you have to stand in the same position from where you have started. Then with the hurriness and with the lot of excitement, he started running. And in a unidirectional way, he started running, because what was the no offer from the king? Okay, how much distance you can cover, that all lands will be yours. So just with that greediness, he started running, and at one point of time, okay, he felt that he is completely tired, and that is how much, that is what he can come and he can run. And by the time he was looking into the watch, and he was seeing that one, it is almost around 2 o'clock. Okay, and he started his running for morning 8 o'clock onwards. He started running. Okay, then what was the second condition of the king? Okay, if you want to take whatever the land you have covered before sunset, you have to come to the origin points also. Then he started coming back. He was running, but finally what happened? He could not able to reach to the starting point. And as per the deal, how much land he should get? He will not get any land. Okay, so why I am telling this story in this junction, in the sense, planning is important. So if you would have planned properly, okay, to cover this much of distance, I need this much of time. So let me have my speed in this way. So I will reach to this point, and again, while returning back, I will have enough time to come to the origin point. If you would have planned, you would have acquired a very good amount and very good size of a land. So that is why it is more important for us also, when we plan for our units, sessions, lectures and all, very effectively we have to plan. To see to it, we need to give scope and place for the assessment, we need to give scope for the revision classes, we need to see to it that no, whatever we have taught, there should be outcome, and the teaching learning process is well understood by all the stakeholders, primarily the students. And another important thing is, whenever we take the classes and all, there should be a logical sequence. So always the student will have a mindset that why I need to study this. So we need to have the analytical mind to tell to them like where the practicality, use or application of these subjects will be there, and how it will be useful, and how the yesterday's content is connected with today, and today's content how it is going to be connected for tomorrow. So all these things are plays a great role in planning. And also the active participation of student is also required for an effective learning. So like we can ask some oral questions and quizzes, we can conduct some written tests and ask the student to solve the problems, we can ask them to draw or design something, and we can go for the activity based learning wherever it is possible. And assignment, anyway, it is a part of the game, everybody gives it. What is about the activity based learning? To do that, no, it is very easy, and if we have little interest, we can do that, and that will be memorized by all of the students. Still, I could able to remember when I was a student, one of our teacher was there and he was teaching. There was a subject called in computer science. If any computer science faculty will be attending, they will be understanding this, software engineering. In software engineering, there was a concept called software development life cycle, where the software which has to be developed for the company or for the organization, it undergoes with a life cycle model. And phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, there are many phases where the software undergoes till it comes to a final delivery stage. So the teacher, what he had done, and there are many types of software development lifecycle models are available in the industry. So what the teacher did, so just to clear our confusions and just to make us that no, we were able to understand different types of lifecycle model and different phases of life cycle model, he called all of us and he identified one student as one of the activity. Okay, so you are a model of requirement collection, you are a model of design, you are a model of low level design, you are a model of coding, you are a model of testing, you are a model of user acceptance, you are a model of delivery and installation. Like that, he defined all the students and he identified them what role models they will be representing, and he told to us that every student what they should speak when their role has to come in the form of activity. So it was presented, the role play was presented in such a nice and beautiful way with a great coordination. So that was remembered in our mind forever. Still I could able to recall the activity what those days that teacher had done. So strongly I felt, okay, with all these things definitely we will able to reach to a good outcome based education. So, and my last part of the presentation is, okay, so whenever we go for any kind of presentation, so how we can make it as an effective presentation. So first, I would like to recommend here to go for an introduction which will attract the student. For an example, let's say there is a subject called, for an example, because all of you different branches of faculties are sitting here, so I will not take any computer science subject, so that no, you will not able to understand. So let me take a subject of, for an example, chemistry. Okay, so let's say I am the chemistry teacher. Okay, I will go to the class, and today is my first class, and students are eagerly, excitingly, they are waiting to see the chemistry teacher. So I have gone, and I have told to the, I have gone and I have entered into the class, and I have told to the student that no, okay, so see, there are two type of iteration I will do. You yourself will understand what will be the acceptance level of the student if we do like this. One is what, let's say I will go, my first iteration, you see how I will be, then again I will show my second iteration. Okay, first iteration, good morning students. So this semester I am going to teach you a subject named as chemistry. Okay, and let me tell you some of the aspect of and importance of these subjects also. So this is one of the toughest subject in this semester. Okay, and what is your traditional way of studying by reading one book? With that psychology, it will not work out. There are 4 or 5 books you have to study, and you check with your senior and you check with your friends also. Always the result goes down in chemistry subject only. Every year, out of 60, only 45 to 50 students only will able to pass in single attempt. So I need all of your concentration in my all my classes. You have to be very serious and active, and then only you will able to pass, else undoubtedly you are going to fail. And another thing is also, nobody was interested to take this subject, so somehow HOD told me to take that, and no, I am going to take this subject for you. So every day we will be discussing about the chemistry subject. So be ready to read with 5 to 6 different books, and be ready to study seriously, regularly, and don't absent any of my class, else you will fail. Like that, the first day the teacher has gone and given a introduction about the chemistry. Okay, this is one mode. Another mode is, okay, good morning student. Okay, so I am so and so, and I am happy and excited that no, I have been given a very good subject called chemistry, and the whole semester I will be discussing with you about the organic and inorganic part of the chemistry subjects. And in addition to that, I wanted to tell you students, here there are a lot of learnings we are going to understand, because the day-to-day activities, whatever the components we are seeing, it is all made by different chemical structures. Now it's an opportunity for us to understand how the structures, how the bonding is created, and how all these fun activities we can do in this subject. And remember, if you like these subjects, and lot of fun activity you can do by your own, and this subject is one of the best and easy subjects. Just if you will attend class itself regularly, you will able to score very good marks. And remember, the history says that those who have studied good and they have scored very good mark, which has fetched a very good percentage for their improvement of academics. So this is another way of iteration. And this is one way of iteration. So it is very important how we give our introduction about the subject to attract the students' interest. So let us have a constructive way of telling the subjects in the class so that no, we can develop some interest. And there are some we have to highlight the relevance and usefulness of the topic to be learned. So I have seen in my experience also, and you would have noticed, even some students, they have come and questioned me also, sir, we have joined engineering courses, why I should learn mathematics, why I should learn physics, why I should learn chemistry. However, none of the companies are going to ask me any question related to those subjects. Now, being a teacher, it is our responsibility to clarify their doubts. And there are two ways to deal with one situation. One is what we can tell easily, okay, that is, university has framed that I don't know what to do. As it is in the curriculum, you have to study, else you will not able to complete your degree. Easiest way, go away from all the problems. But is it the right answer? So first, to give this right answer, no, we need to do a lot of activities and homework to answer this question. And we need to establish the relationship and relevance of mathematics in engineering, physics in engineering, chemistry in engineering. If that is all done from day one itself, you are kindling the interest among the student about those subjects and their relevance and usefulness also, because you might be aware, without mathematics there is no existence of computer science, and without physics there is no existence of electronics. So this is the level of correlations is there and usefulness is there, which we need to learn. And we need to state a historical or current program related to the lecture content. So today, if I am going to discuss about a specific topic, okay, so I need to relate it to a current problem, and if I will tell about it, it will be more interesting, and there will be a lot of people which will be interested to listen all these things. So these are all guidelines which we need to follow to have an effective lessons. And also provide a brief overview of the lecture content by stating the expected learning outcomes, and write the title of the lesson and topic on the chalkboard. Let's say I have seen, if somebody wants to write down, okay, so what is thermodynamics and different rules for thermodynamics. I have seen many of the teachers, THER, then something they will write which cannot be seen at all. So I request all of you to write down clearly, legibly, what is the title and topic you wanted to write it, you wanted to teach it. Okay, there should not be any spelling mistake, and there should not be like some signature kind of writing texture where it cannot be readable by others. Okay, and before starting your subjects or the content, please see to it the prerequisite and the knowledge what the students are having about that particular subject. Let's say I wanted to talk about today Core i7 processor. Okay, first I need to understand what is processor, the students are aware or not. Then there are different types of processor came, Core 2 Duo, dual core, i3, i5, all these types of things are there. Okay, or let's say I am going to talk today about the embedded system. In embedded system, I can ask, okay, or I can talk about the microprocessor. Okay, so in the microprocessor, I have to ask to the student, do you know, all of you, that on one microprocessor application you are using at your home? Can you identify and tell? Then you are kindling their interest. Then they will be surprised. Okay, in our home itself we are using microprocessor, but we are not aware. Then you have to tell. Application of microprocessor is your washing machine. Application of your microprocessor is your induction heater, and application of microprocessor is your traffic signals. All these are the applications of the microprocessor. So if we say like this, then they will get an interest. Okay, this is what. Then you have to tell what is microprocessor, which will perform the routine job, how it is programmed. Then now you are slowly pushing into the subjects. So this is the way, if we will iterate our teaching learning process, we can have an effective way of presenting our lesson. And present the material in a simple language that is suitable to your students. Should not be using sophisticated, very high level English which they will not able to understand. Okay, and use analogies, comparisons, correlations, and illustration, and summarize the key ideas periodically at a intermediate stage, and use a variety of instructional media. As I used to tell that, okay, only blackboard teaching or only PPT presentation will not be ideal. You can go for some animated videos, you can go for some seminars, webinars, some NPTEL lectures, all this variety. It should be a combination of all. And avoid reading from books or notes in the classroom. While speaking, speak loudly, face the students and not to the chalkboards, and maintain a eye contact with all the students, and modulate the tone of your voice in order to give emphasis and also attract the attention of the student. It's not like that with one modulation only you will be talking. Where you have to raise voice, where you have to reduce your voice tone, all these things need to be summarized in a proper way. And become aware of your mannerism and try to avoid them. I have seen some of the teachers have the mannerism of without hurting to anybody's sentiment. Okay, is not it, is not it. And some people will be talking about do you follow, do you follow. Some people will be talking about yes or no, yes or no. So all this mannerism being in a fun words for the student, and they just make it as a fun. So we have to understand, am I a part of all these things, or I have to avoid all these things? So let us be aware of our mannerism and try to avoid them. And during the concluding phase, ask question to evaluate the achievements of the objectives. And as I had told in my previous slides also, different instructional methods need to be used. So these are all already the points already I had told, the practices what the teacher has to follow, and how to love our job or how to do our jobs. So there are some message what I thought I should taken for relaxing your mind only. So if you do not love your job, take a home loan, you will start loving it. Take another loan, you will start loving your boss too. Get married, you will start loving your office too. It is not to any personal concern. Okay, so just for relaxing our mind, for a fun I have put it. But somehow I received this WhatsApp message, but somehow I feel that it's true. So finally, what is the expectation of the teachers? Job satisfaction, learning new things, producing good results, and improving the student skills. Write some books, papers, and good recognition. If all these things are there, definitely good salary will also come. Okay, and how to be motivated. So to do all these things, we need to motivate ourselves also. And it's not necessary that all the time our HOD or principal or management only should come call us and motivate us. We can give a self appraisal to ourselves. Okay, so like just to put some examples and all, if you have taken your class effectively, because every day you take your class, someday it will be 100% effective, someday 80%, someday 70%, someday 50% also. But you know that whether anybody has noticed you or not, you know that how you have prepared, how you have delivered. So with that, if you have done any day effectively, go for a self gift. Okay, you present yourself a gift to you, or you go to a restaurant, have a good food on that day. So it is a kind of self motivation. Don't wait that somebody has to come and motivate you. You should inculcate the practice of self motivation and gift yourself. Do something, give it something to you only. Whatever you are earning, it is not for everybody only or for family only. You can gift something for yourself. Go for a new mobile, new watch, new dress, new saris, whatever you like, something for you to motivate yourself. Okay, and always I strongly believe, say no to the negativity and do not involve in gossip and loose talk, and be happy for what you have. I have seen 90% of the people and their success has stopped because of these two parameters. One is what they will get into some negativity and they will part be in some gossips and all, and they initiate loose talk and their mind will be disturbed. And some people I have seen, okay, so always they will have a comparison mind. Their salary is good, their facilities are good, and because of that thought, we will not be motivated. We will not able to discharge our duty properly. So that is why let us have these attributes in our mind too. Finally, okay, so I feel like this: start, think, analyze, plan, try, do it again, and keep on doing, so that finally you will lead to a success. So with this, and thanks for listening to me continuously for 2 hours, and And thanks to Dr. Suresa and as well as the entire team of Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, who has taken a lot of interest, and they were coordinating with me, and no, they have given me an opportunity to meet with you all and interact with you all. And finally, thanks to the digital era and the technology who is supporting us and making it possible to interact with you all by sitting from Hyderabad. And finally, thanks to the management and the AICT who encouraged and supported to do all this activity for our student and staff community. Thank you once again. I am now ending here. Dr. Santosh Kumar, Principal, San Martin Engineering College.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the informative.
Can I conclude, sir?
Yes, madam. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Patra. How are you?
Fine, fine.
Am I audible?
Yes, very clear.
Good. Because I was in a meeting, just I came out to say hello to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So good, yeah. Because you have taken out your time, valuable time.
No, it is always, to interact with the faculty, and thanks to you for giving me an opportunity to interact with all the participants. And you are doing a very good job.
No, yeah. Of course, it is there. In fact, again, to be frank, when Madam came and told me, sir, I want some resource persons, first thing, two persons it came to my mind. One is you, and the other one is Joshi, sir. He is from Pune.
Okay.
So, in fact, 3 days back he has completed, and today you are coming. It's very nice, very nice. Thanks, Appa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam, please carry on, madam. Please carry on.
Sir, we thank you for accepting our invitation and
There is a
presenting a very informative talk, sir.
storytelling is the most good idea.
Over to you, Nita madam.
Okay, ma'am. There is a saying, storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world. The way you have explained the concepts by the stories were mesmerizing. We will try to inculcate different strategies in teaching. Thank you for the informative, innovative, and interesting talk on emphasizing moral values and art of teaching ethics using think, pair, and share. I would like to thank you on the behalf of SVC, management, Department of Mechatronics, organizing committee, and to all the participants for attentive listening and making the session a grand success. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Thank you once again. Have a good day, sir.
So thank you all the participants for listening to me for continuously 2 hours, and advance happy Christmas and advance happy New Year to all of you, and please take care of yourself and be safe, because still COVID is there. Okay, thank you. I am signing out, Dr. Santosh Kumar. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.